Good evening. Highways England has admitted that it's not possible to monitor every camera round the clock on smart motorways and that it can take them several minutes to notice when a vehicle breaks down. 38 deaths have been linked to the new roads and the government has paused their rollout while it carries out a safety review.
Despite that, work is currently ongoing on stretches of the M20 in Kent and the M23 in Sussex to convert them to smart motorways, which involves some sections having no hard shoulder. Helen Drew reports.
Steve Godbold was a recovery worker who was killed while he attended a broken-down car on the hard shoulder of the M25. His partner Sam believes smart motorways are even more dangerous and is dismayed to find out they're not being monitored 24/7.
To be honest, it's not that much of a surprise to me because if they were monitored as you would expect them to be monitored, people wouldn't have died and there wouldn't have been the accidents that there are.
38 people have died on smart motorways in the last 5 years. The network is monitored by CCTV cameras and screens in control centres. But after a Freedom of Information request, Highways England has revealed all screens cannot be observed around the clock. There are different types of smart motorway. One is where the hard shoulder is replaced with an extra lane and emergency refuges, which is what this stretch of the M20 in Kent is being converted into. Another is what's called dynamic, where the hard shoulder can be switched on and off using overhead signs. But the head of Highways England told MPs they're too complicated.
Because people aren't sure whether it's a hard shoulder or a running lane, even when it is open, the usage of that running lane is much lower because people aren't sure whether it's a hard shoulder or not. So I don't think we will be building any more dynamic hard shoulder smart motorways. They're just too complicated for people to use.
The Transport Secretary has ordered a review of smart motorways, which the government says will be thorough and quick.
No one should receive the knock on the door telling you that someone that you love has died. No one should receive that. It's the worst knock on the door that you're ever going to get. And if we can save, whether it be 1 life, 100 lives, by doing what we're doing, we'll keep going. No one should have that knock on the door.
Highways England says it's committed to implementing any new recommendations from the review.
Oh, well, Helen's overlooking the M25 for us now. And Helen, I mean, this concern about camera monitoring is just the latest in a long line of safety concerns about smart motorways.
There have been a lot of safety concerns over these smart motorways. Recently, the former government minister, Sir Mike Penning, who approved their rollout, said to the BBC that he believes he was misled about the safety of removing the hard shoulder. He based his decision on a pilot in Birmingham back in 2010, where the emergency refuge spots were placed 600 metres apart. But in the subsequent rollout across the country, some of those have been as far apart as 2.5 miles. Now, I said there in my report that there's a government review. They're not going to open any new stretches of motorway until that's complete, and that includes the stretch of the M20 that's been worked on for some time now. And we're expecting the outcome of that review any day now.
OK, Helen, thank you.